Hey, what's going on, y'all? I'm doing this video in regards to eating meat, okay? I did a video yesterday telling you to stop eating meat. Not asking you, I'm telling you that you must quit eating meat, okay? Now, somebody came on there and they said, but bro, we're allowed to eat meat because the Most High, he told us we can eat meat, and he gave us laws telling us what meat to eat and what meat not to eat. Okay, now listen, I know that I know for a fact that you knew that I was aware that the Bible does say that. I know that you know that. So here's the thing. Here, you should be asking me, brother, why are you telling me that we can't eat, that we shouldn't be eating meat right now when the Bible says that we should? Okay, why? What makes you? Why are you saying that? Okay, now here's the answer. See, the Bible also tells you that there's a time and a season for everything. And I mean, and it gets down to the nitty gritty. There's a time for war and there's a time for peace. There's a time to embrace and there's a time to separate. Okay, there's always a time. There's a time for white folks and black folks to come and get along, and there's a time for them to separate. But you don't believe that either, do you? Okay, listen. There's a time to eat meat, and there's a time to not eat meat. Okay? Here's an example. Moses is the one who brought you the dietary laws that you're talking about, that said what meat to eat and what meat not to eat. Isn't he the one? Okay, but also, isn't Moses also the one who told the Hebrew Israelites to no, don't eat meat when they were on their way out in Exodus, when they were on their way out of Egypt and they were in the wilderness and everybody wanted meat? And Moses said, no, we're going to eat from nature. We're going to eat this manna. We're going to eat what the Most High gives us out in nature. Think about that. Moses is the one that gave the law saying that we can eat meat and which ones to eat. But Moses is also the one that told our people, no, we're not eating meat. That means that there's a time to do it and a time not to do it. Now, we are living in the days of Exodus. Oh, no, and let me not forget. Those people who just demanded meat, they were saying, you got us way out here. We could have been in Egypt still eating meat. We could have been in Egypt eating better. You got us out here. We should have just stayed. They wanted it that bad, they wouldn't stop nagging about it. So the Most High sent quail for them to eat, and all those who ate it died. I think it was 2,000 men and women died. Okay, now listen. There's a time and there's a season. There's a time, okay? And there's different messengers. Different messengers come at different times for a reason. Notice that at the end of every age, the Most High sends messengers and prophets. If all you needed was the Bible, then what is the Most High sending messengers and prophets for? Because there's a time they're telling you to stop. They're telling you to go ahead. They're telling you to don't right now. Don't. That's what they're for. The pages is not just going to wake up and start telling you that. See, you disregard the messengers. Oh, but you don't see somebody as a messenger unless they got wings. Bro, listen, let me tell you something. There's a time. Okay? Listen, there's a time. And listen, and at the time that Moses was telling our people, no, don't eat no meat. You have to understand that it was during a Exodus time. It was during a Exodus. It was at the end of a age. They were in the middle grounds. There was between stages. There was between slavery and freedom. We're not eating any meat. These dietary laws that I'm giving you, though, is for when you make it over here into this promised land. Okay? Right now, with the message that the Most High has given me to give you, he's saying, don't eat meat. We are at the end of an age, and we are at a Exodus time too, just like Moses. Just like the Hebrew Israelites were at the end of the 400 years, we are at the end of a 400 years captivity here too. We are not supposed to eat meat, okay? Okay, listen, you want to higher your vibrations. You want to raise your vibrations. By stopping eating meat and eating from nature, you are raising your vibrations. You're going to want to. Listen, you've been a brute beast on a planet, whether you want to admit it or not. You've been a brute beast on a planet, and you are now eating things that are defiling your temple. You don't get it, do you? You would want, whether you agree with me or not, and you want to continue eating meat or not, here's one thing that you will agree with me on. If you stop eating meat right now and just ate vegetables, things from nature, if you ate and drink from nature, you know for a fact that you will be highering your vibration and your temple will be more cleansed and pure. So whether you agree with me or not, wouldn't you want to do that for yourself? At a time like now, wouldn't you want to ensure that you are pure in the eyes of the Most High? Moses said to the Most High while praying, before we made the Exodus, he said, Father, please be with us. Carry us over into the promised land. Although we have been brutal, we have been, what words did he use? He said, although we have been stiff-necked and a rebellious people, okay? We have been a stubborn people. You being stubborn. You see, you're easy to lead in the wrong direction, hard to lead in the right direction. You try to find what's, you try to find you try to go with, you try to protect your own interests. Okay? You try to find reason, excuses to protect your own interests. Let's go to Daniel chapter 1, and I'm going to start at in the middle of verse 4. Pick strong, healthy, good-looking lads, he said. Those who have read widely in many fields, are well-informed, alert, sensible, and have enough poise to look good around the palace. Now, he wants healthy men. Looking good attributes to being healthy. The king assigned them the best food and wine from his own kitchen during their 3-year training period, planning to make them counselors after they graduate. Now let's jump over to verse 8. But Daniel made up his mind to not eat the food and wine given to them by the king. He asked the superintendent for permission to eat other things instead. Now, as it happened, the Most High gave the superintendent a special appreciation for Daniel and sympathy for his for what he said. But he was alarmed by Daniel's suggestion. See, I'm afraid that you will become pale and thin compared to the other youths. See, he was afraid that Daniel would get extra bony and become all pale, looking like he's about to die, drawed up. He said, then the king will behead me for neglecting my responsibilities, feeding you with what the king told me to feed y'all. Daniel talked it over with the steward who was appointed by the superintendent to look after Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, and suggested a 10-day diet. So we'll test it. Do this for 10 days and then let's see how you look. Only vegetables and water. Then at the end of the trial period, the steward could see how they looked in comparison with the other fellows who ate the king's rich food, wine, and meats. And he decided whether or not that he would let them continue on their diet. The steward finally agreed to the test. Well, at the end of the 10 days, Daniel and his 3 friends looked healthier and better nourished than the youths who had been eating the food supplied by the king. Okay, so after the steward fed them only vegetables and water without without rich foods and wines, God gave these 4 youths great ability to learn, and they soon mastered all of the literature and science of the time. Okay, now listen, by stop eating meat, the Bible gives you examples. So if you want to quote the Bible, then you should really understand and read the Bible. You should have your own best interest at heart. This wouldn't be in here if it wasn't to serve a purpose. Give you an example. This is real. This is not just some story. This is real. This is true. It's just now showed you how beneficial it was for Daniel to stop to stop drinking wine and eating meat. Okay, to just eat vegetables and drink water. Did you hear what it said? It said God gave these four youths the ability to learn, and they soon mastered all of the literature and sciences of the time. Do you know how beneficial that is at a time like now, when these devils are lying to you every time they open their damn mouth? Every time you turn the news on, they're lying. Every time you open up a newspaper, they're lying. Huh? Everything that's being pushed to the forefront on YouTube, lies. You mean to tell me that you don't want to stop eating meat and start eating vegetables and just drinking water as beneficial as it is? You can be a messenger in your own family. You can be a messenger in the world. But no, you want to argue with the people who are doing this. You want to argue with the people and debate with the people who do have divine knowledge from the Most High. He told me to stop eating meat, to only eat from nature. And I'm telling you, okay, you want to be stubborn. But it tells us that we can eat meat and which ones to eat. There's a time and there's a place for everything. And you are out of season, out of touch. You can't feel. You run your mouth, but you can't feel that the universe is telling you don't eat that shit. You can't feel that. I'm not just up here running my mouth, I just feel like telling people to stop eating meat. I used to eat meat myself. I used to love it. I don't just feel like telling you stop eating meat. I'm telling you better stop eating meat. You better stop eating meat right now. Okay? So I'm not even going to go any further with this. There's your proof. If you have your own best interests at heart, stop eating meat. You see what it does for you. Okay? That's if you're selfish. That's if you want to be selfish and get some gain, then there you go. Now I'm trying to entice you. Because I know how stiff-necked you are. You better stop eating meat because the Most High said so. Take it easy. Peace.